Hey guys, it's Kelvin. Week 2 assignment. First time that I played the game, Stanley's Parable. To be honest, I didn't really like it that much. I thought, this is kind of weird, kind of abstract, a different way of doing things, but just because I get kind of like sidetracked when I have to listen to the story going on and on and on before I can actually just jump right into the game. But once I started playing it, I really did like how you had the options to either follow the rules, or wouldn't so much call them rules. I mean, regardless, it usually seems like it ends in death, or in your character dying. But if you follow the suggested rules, like going into the mind control area or taking the escape, I like how if you took the escape, it took you into like almost like a museum-looking area, and it had like the game credits on the wall and all this stuff. But I also really liked how if you went into the mind control area, it kind of led you on and on and on into different areas and kept you going in the game. But based off of the readings and the descriptions, I would definitely call this a game. The goal of this game is to get through and shut off like the mind control system. And even though it usually ends up in you dying or just like a black area, it's still, there is a point to the game. Rules, there are rules, but you kind of have the option whether or not you want to follow them, which I like because it's not like you die or you're done right away if you don't follow the rules or the suggested like route to take. I like that it kind of lets you figure it out by yourself. Feedback, I would say, the narrator telling you where to go, what you're doing, the progress that you're making. I think that would be considered feedback. Voluntary participation, obviously, because, well, just playing the game in general is voluntary participation. But, whether or not you choose to participate in following the suggested areas to go or the suggested route to take, ultimately, changes the outcome of what happens. So I would say that this definitely falls under the category of a game. If I had to analyze this with my favorite game, Call of Duty Black Ops, I would say that it definitely fits because your goal, let's say you're online playing Team Deathmatch or even just in a career mode mission, your goal is to, if the objective is in online, get 75 points before the other team does, there's your goal. The rules, you only have a certain amount of actions you can do that are allowed. And if it's not allowed, if it's against the rules, you kind of don't have the option to do it. Feedback, there's a narrator saying, keep up, we're winning this fight, or, step it up, we're losing. And then voluntary participation, obviously, you can choose how much, especially during online play, how hard you try, what weapons you use. You have a lot of say in what's going on, and I really like that about that game. I think that it gives, you a lot more options and freedoms to kind of play the game how you want to play it, because people criticize, say, oh, you were camping here, or you used an RPG for this or that or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's how you choose to participate in the game and play it. But going back to the other game that I mentioned last video, Skate 3, it's a game, but and there's goals like certain missions, but there's less kind of guidelines. It's more just free-for-all on your own. Yeah.